Yes, now people, it's Charlie, and welcome back to another episode of Bitesize Leeds on the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. Hope you're all doing well again this evening. So then, guys, we've got a few stories to get through that's been happening over the last few days in the wonderful world of Leeds United. But just before we get into it, please smash the like button, please subscribe, and let's get into it. First up then, guys, is the news that Gjanni looks set to ruin his Leeds United legacy by going to that team from Turkey. If you're unaware of who I'm talking about, it's Galatasaray. Now, it's a tough one. I mean, for me, I like Turkey. I've been on Turkey quite a lot of times on holiday, but that team in particular are a set of horrible, vile bastards. They still brag about what they did to Chris and Kev to this day. We get taunted by fans of other clubs about it as well. And it's really not nice. And I feel like every player that's ever played for Leeds or ever been associated with Leeds is aware of the history that we have with that club, including Oleksi. He's worn that black armband every year on the anniversary of their death. And yeah, I'm 23. I was about 3-4 years old maybe when it happened. I don't remember it. I didn't know them personally, but I do know a lot of people who did know them. My girlfriend's dad was quite close with one of them. So I've heard all of the stories. I've heard about the heartbreak and everything, and what an awful night in Istanbul it was. There's people saying that this is like a good payday for him to end his career, when, let's be honest, he was on 24k a week at Leeds. CSKA Moscow in Russia offered him over 40 grand a week, which in football isn't a lot, I will admit that. But it isn't a money thing. He really wants to go there. Now, I know Turkey is near North Macedonia, where he's from. So that could be a factor, which, fair play if you want to go play in Turkey, but there are plenty of other teams in Turkey that you could play for, like Fenerbahce, and teams like that. If I'm honest, that's the only team that I know other than them. So yeah, it does stink, if I'm honest, because he has been a good servant to our club. When Leeds announced that he was leaving last week, everyone was quite sad, but quite understanding that he would want to move on. There was rumours that he was going to go there a while ago, but it kind of died down, which we thought he may have changed his mind, maybe. But now that doesn't seem to be the case. I think the Square Ball shared earlier as well the fact that the deal might not happen now anyway, because Alioski's not happy that they're taking the piss to get the deal done. But for me, he showed the intent in order, to wanting to sign them, wanting to sign for them, sorry. And, he hasn't even released a statement since announcing that he's leaving. He has said bye to the fans. He's not thanked us for the support over the last 4 years that he's been here. I just think wherever he goes, even if it isn't them, wherever he goes, he has left the club in the totally wrong way. He has just gone about it so poorly, and it's a real shame. But if he does go there, his legacy at Leeds is fucked for me, if I'm honest with you. But if he doesn't, even the way that he's left, it just stinks. And yeah, like I say, it is a real shame. Up next, guys, very quickly, it's the news that Leif Davies looks set to join Championship side Bournemouth on a season-long loan deal. Now, for me, this is a really good deal for him. It hasn't quite worked out yet in terms of the first team. He's made the odd appearance here and there as a sub. But he's just been warming the bench, hasn't he? To be honest, bless him. And I think Bournemouth play some really good football, and the Championship, as we all know, is a really hard league to get out of and a really hard league to compete in. So, if he is in the team on a regular basis there, it's really good experience that should put him in good stead for the future. Who knows, he might come back to Leeds after this and be in the first team. I highly doubt it, though, if I'm honest, and I wouldn't be surprised if you never see Davies wear a Leeds shirt again. Don't get me wrong, as I say, I think he has got really good potential. I just think it's going to be really hard for him to break into our team. You may even see him sign for Bournemouth on a permanent deal, but if not, I think he will leave the club on a permanent basis next season. I might be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, to summarise this part, happy for him that he's got a good move there, and hopefully he has a really good season in the Championship. On to the next bit of news then, guys, and the hunt for a backup goalkeeper has begun. Leeds have had a bid rejected from Newcastle for their goalkeeper, Freddie Woodman. I'll admit, I'm not going to lie and say that I know loads about him and that I've ever seen him play, because I haven't and I don't. But if we see something in him, then I won't argue with that interest. Obviously, as I said, they have turned down that bid. I'm unaware of how much it is, if I'm being totally honest with you. All I know is that it has been turned down by Newcastle. We have been linked with quite a number of foreign keepers from Spain as well. I think there's one from Levante. I forget his name, but from what I'm seeing and hearing, they all look all right. But, it'll be interesting to see how this does kind of pan out, because, are we going to go for a keeper that's just going to warm up the bench all season and play in the cup? Or are we actually going to go for someone that's going to keep Meslier on his toes a bit and actually try and compete to be in the first team? You never know. It might do him some good having a bit of competition and being on his toes, because let's be honest, Kiko Casilla did not provide any competition whatsoever. He is not in his league at all. As I said in my last video, I hope we never see that guy in a Leeds shirt ever again. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this does go in terms of the backup keeper. So keep an eye out for that, guys, because it's going to get interesting. And finally, guys, to end this video on today, just thought I'd briefly touch upon some news that I heard earlier on today, and that is apparently Valencia are interested in Helder Costa. Caught me a bit off guard, if I'm honest, because, Valencia, I know they've had the troubles over the last few seasons, but they are quite an established team in La Liga. And for them to be interested in Helder Costa is a weird one. I'm not saying that he's not good enough to go there. I think he'd probably actually suit their style of football. And it's a chance for him to definitely get first team football, because if he stays at Leeds, you've got the likes of Poveda, Harrison, Rafinha. And if Leeds sign and the likes of Lang and anyone like that, that's just extra competition for him, and it's going to be really hard for him to get in the team. For me, I think he's a good player, and I think he's done well in his time at Leeds, but I think it might be time for him to maybe move on, whether it's on loan or on a permanent deal. But yeah, I just thought I'd touch upon that because it kind of caught me off guard a bit. But, keep an eye out for that, because it could develop over the next few weeks. So yeah, guys, that ends this episode of Bitesize Leeds. I hope you've all enjoyed it. As I said at the beginning, please smash the like button. Do me a solid and hit the subscribe button as well. We're pushing for 300. We're not that far away now. So if you could do me a favor and hit me up with that, that'd be great. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you very much.